Hey everybody, welcome back to the RBA Premier League. This is the Marching Ents. Just wrapped up our season 15. Finished in 5th place. Congrats to the Crows and Comets making it to the championship, and the Crows for getting their first Premier League championship. Congrats. But here we are getting ready to go into season 16. And getting ready to head to the off season. So take a quick peek here of the roster, how everybody did, where our stats are. Gondor, of course, 6 for 6. Dude is just a stud. I'll go through these kind of quick. I think I did it at the end of my final season, so I'll do these kind of quickly. Strider, great rookie season. Oaken Shield, a great additional season. Hopeful to get him for at least one more, maybe 2 more seasons. He didn't say he was retiring at any point during this season, so we will see how long he sticks around with us. He is at 34 years old, so I imagine he's going to tell us he retires at the end of this coming season, so I might be entering my very last season with Oaken Shield. Hard to think. It's sad to think. Proudfoot, solid season. Irish Mabane needs to improve. Quick Beam, great season. Defensive Player of the Year. Skinbark, stud. Pippin Took, steady as always. Legolas actually has a dip in production, but still over 10 tackles a game. So, Hobbit Mary, been here forever. Wanted to show you two. Drew Scott hasn't played a game, but wanted to show you two. These guys. So Gondor, not up for. So these are the guys that are up for contract here. So Oak, I don't know where he'll go. If he goes under 11 or stays at 11, I don't know if that's as low as they go or anything like that. But gonna have a potential issue here because Quick Beam is at 27, and I'm guessing he's gonna ask for like 35 possibly. I can't remember where linebackers that are 5-star end up getting to, so that'll be something to juggle. But we also have our defensive backs, our aged defensive backs. Again, they all came in the same class as Oaken Shield, and they are up for their contract renewal. All 3 of them here. Oops, not Scott. Mary, Legolas. Oh no, we just re-signed Pippin. Took the 3rd. My bad. It's just these 2, Legolas and Mary. So I don't know if they'll go down as well as far as their request for contract, as well as what Oak will do, but that is to be seen. But we may have to do some juggling because Quick Beam. I just noticed, and I don't know if the update has come through and it just auto-updated in the background, but I was taking a peek just before I started recording, and it looks to me, front office, in the free agents, that it's hit. The dreaded, terrible free agency that we were told was likely to come seems to have arrived. So that's going to make things very interesting and make the draft rather important. So in my eyes, a defensive back and a wide receiver are going to be top of the list for me based on my roster right now. So I've got some defensive linemen that are good. I've got linebacking core that's good, but I've got a very aged defensive back set of defensive backs there, those 3. So Took still has a good 3 or 4 seasons in him, but Legolas and Mary will likely retire along with Oak at the end of this coming season. So here we go. I'm officially declaring one more time, and I apologize, Strider, but in your sophomore season, it is going to be the epic season of Oak. We're going to highlight this man in every way possible. An absolute legend. Stats bear it out. 1156. 62,000 yards, 258 games played. So a truly epic player. 3 MVPs, 6 Offensive Player of the Year. The guy's a level 22 stud. So we're gonna have to play this season like we mean it. So with all that ado, we are gonna head and checking contracts. Yes, both of them are renewed. Okay. So we're gonna head to the off season. Before we do that, I just realized, do I have everybody I want to, like these guys? Who is the other guy? Beam. Okay, yes, I do have him in the Hall of Fame tagged up there. So just in case, for some odd reason through math, that we can't get our way to bringing everybody back on. I want to make sure that our true studs are all in the Hall of Fame. Strider's going to be there before very long. Do I consider him to be a Hall of Famer yet? He doesn't even have 10 tackles per game on average, so 8 sacks is a great number. We're going to do it. Proudfoot, beginning your 3rd season with us. You've been temporarily tagged to our Hall of Fame, to be determined, right? Because in the Hall of Fame there, we have a defensive lineman, Slam G, who proved to us what an epic defensive lineman should look like. He's at 14 sacks. In 108 games, he's averaging nearly 13 tackles per game, like 12.6, I think is what it came out to, something to that effect. So, okay. Now, after all that ado, and just to show you, there's where our season ended. Just missed making the playoffs. We wouldn't have ended up winning the Retro Bowl with that 27. Found out Comets and I tied on that. That would have been an interesting final, 27-27, huh? Comets, feel bad for you, man. I really was looking forward to seeing you have a chance there. Congrats to the Crows, but if I may, Retro or Rust Belt Derby brothers, Comets, yours is coming. I thought this could have been it. I had a feeling it was. Keep on marching, man. Keep on marching. Great season. Now, after all that ado, here we go. Reject all, and a new season begins. Yes, they are. Of course they are. Texas Stars in week 1. How about that? So let's take a look. I am curious if that free agent... Oh, okay. So that was just the end of the year that had crappy free agents. Okereke. See, not quite what I'd be looking for. He's already maxed out. He's already 28. And I'm going to say he only has... He's 2 ticks away from full speed. Wouldn't be interested. Is there anyone else here that we would want to consider? D lineman here. He's got great potential. Defensive back, which is going to be critical for us. Man, I want that speed to be up. It seems like you get better interception rates the higher the speed is at least what I've noticed. My experience. So, bad news. I don't like our free agent pool very much. In a pinch, sure, but not the long-term guys that I'd be looking for. So, we're going into this draft hoping for a developable defensive back and a developable wide receiver. And again, here we go. Beam wants the same. That's great. He did not ask for more. So he's maxed out. Perfect. And Scott. Wait, what just happened? What? It says free agents up there. Is that a glitch? Oh, because they are free agents needing to be re-signed. I see. Okay. Sorry, I had a momentary brain lapse, but I thought that I was at my last contract with Oak and Legolas and Mary. Why am I so nervous right now? So we're going to have to... Oh, he wants 13. He never played a game and he wants 13. Okay. That really puts the pinch on us, doesn't it? So what happened here? He still has another year. Am I missing something? At the end of the season, I just showed it. He had a year left. And so did Legolas. And so did Mary. I don't know what just happened. Somehow I don't know what just happened. All right, we're going to get these guys up before anything else happens. Squinty-eyed smiles everywhere. This is not what everybody wanted to watch. You guys are like ready for the draft. And I'm going through this tedious stuff, so I apologize. I'm a little confused. Did that? Am I the only one? Tell me if I'm missing something. But before I moved on to this season, I thought I was in the last year already with. Maybe it's because they're about to retire. It kind of glosses over that instead of making you sign a new contract with them or something. Is that what it is? Because they were definitely on their last year of their contract. And now Mary is 9. Was he only 9? I thought he was 11. Maybe he was 9. Man, I'm going to have to look back. I feel strange right now. Like I'm missing something. Okay, let's go to the draft. All the same, we know what our roster looks like. We lost our backup wide receiver. We're going to have to drop somebody to pick up somebody. That's just the nature of it here. So we've got a wide receiver. Man, why can't his stamina be higher? Shoot. I'd actually rather catching be like half and stamina be maxed out rather than what his looks like there. You know, half stamina, full catching. And we don't have a defensive back in the first page. Looks to me like the free agency might be the direction we have to push for, but I don't see any room to pick anybody up at this point. I really want to develop a wide receiver. I love that he's here. 12 million, and I just don't have it. I've got 9 million. There's nobody we can drop. We can't drop anybody except Mabane potentially. But I don't necessarily want to do that. I want to let him grow into that position. I think he could turn into a first-round pick value in a couple of seasons. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to look down the line here and see what the next wide receiver is and hope for that miracle cheap wide receiver that can be developed like crazy. Minka Peace is a possibility, and he's only 6 million. He's honestly a possibility. Okay, so we've got 3 of them right around here, so I can go right down the line. No. Minka Peace, kind of a cool name. Full speed potential, high stamina potential. He's not going to be the reliable hands, though, that I'm used to as a Marching Ent team. Anybody else? Taco Patrick. What a name. That's pretty cool. He's about the same as what Scott was. So, with that, we have a very limited wide receiver core here. It looks like we're going to dip into the free agency, and that might just have to take place next season after these retirees take place, and we've got cap space for it. Because that dude is close, but his tackling's never going to get there, and so he's going to not get those 10 to 12 tackles a game. His speed's up there. I need him to be, man, he's a consideration. You know what? He's truly a consideration. That would leave me with only 2. So remember Trey Floyd. He leave me with only 2 million, and that wide receiver that I wanted at the very end here was 4. What about Minka? He wants 6. There's just not room for it. 6 would replace Scott. He was a 6 million. Again, that tackling. So I know I've got great defensive players. I don't want to lose a chance on offense. It seems strange because defense wins everything. I'm going to rely on the free agency at the end or beginning of next season, I guess, technically. And just for kicks. Wow. No stamina, but that's actually a pretty decent draft pick. It's hard to get good draft picks when you've had such success as the Marching Ents. They don't really give you a great set of choices oftentimes. Just looking for fun. Yeah, I think what I need to do is go with Minka Peace. Let me look at his. He's got a 3-star potential. What was this other guy? 2.5. Okay. Pretty sorry. So Minka Peace is just going to be that guy that sits there in case of injury. He's not Oaken Shield's retirement replacement. He's just not. And Crowell, I can't afford him. At 12 million, I can't make up 3 million anywhere. I'd much rather have him. Much rather have him. Because of what this has become, the Retro Bowl, to me, it's become the Marching Ents. It hasn't become like be ruthless and gain every advantage you can. It's kind of become personal, and these players, Legolas and Merry, like if I was going for Premier Championship, I need the best team I can have on the field, and there was no heart involved in it, Merry would get cut right now, or Legolas would get cut in their retirement year, would get cut, and I would bring in that new wide receiver. But these little 8-bitters have captured our hearts, my heart, and I'm simply not willing to do that. I'm truly, truly not willing to do that. So for that reason, I want to play with this squad, my 3 draft picks that are just studs, that are all going to retire together this year, it looks like, between Shield, Legolas, and Merry. I'm not going to cut anybody. There's just no way. I couldn't possibly do that. So, that being said, I only have 9 million, which means I have really no choice except to snag Peace here and let him be that, kind of what Scott was. He's going to be that extra in case of injury. Yep, that's where we are. So he's not going to make it in the first round, or even second round for that matter. He's not going to get selected. Is it wiser for me to go after a defensive back that isn't going to be a long-term defensive back? No. My answer is no. One more good free agent once Legolas and Merry retire, and then I just have 2 defensive backs instead of 3, I feel like is going to be the wise way to go. Then I'm 2-2-2. I'm okay with that. So we are going to go to the next round, take our credits. We're going to now, in the second round, when we have 2 picks, we are going to take Minka Peace at 6 million. Man, if his catching had just a little bit more room, he could be groomed into a long-term receiver. And that would be a lot of fun to watch that progression take place. That would be a lot of fun, in my opinion, to take another Oaken Shield type player that comes in, you know, at 3 stars or less, and you turn him into a legend, or they turn themselves into a legend. So there you go. Minka Peace, he's going to stay with that name, which I think is an awesome name. And then in the second round, with what we have left, which is only 3 million, we're going to go to the end of the line here and see if there's a kicker. Oh, another wide receiver. This Patrick guy. Taco Patrick. I don't want to load up on wide receivers because it's worthless. But I am going to see what kind of a kicker I can get out of this deal. I was thinking it'd be fun if there would happen to be a 3 million. Oh, Patrick was 4 million anyway. If there would happen to be a tight end, that would have been a lot of fun if I could have picked up. And darn it, now that I think about it, would that have been the wise thing to do, to pick up a tight end? You're already telling me that it would have been what I should have done. Comets, I hear you. I hear you, brother. I should have taken Phil McCain possibly at 6 million. because he would be an asset immediately. Oh, darn it. As the season goes on, we'll find out if... Boy, he could have been decent too. As the season goes on, if a wide receiver gets injured, I'll be glad that I did what I did. So let's see what kicker's the best here. Super range potential. But I'm not going to be able to develop these guys, so I want somebody that's... So far, Lyons is my guy. Not Mullen. Not Slade. Ooh. Nope, he's got no range. Not Stewart. Not Ross. Not Gervais. Okay, so what that means is Lyons is our guy. He's at the second tee about, right? I don't think anybody was higher than that. Same for Ross, but he has no accuracy to start with. Yep. All right, we're bringing in Tavon Lyons. Is that right? Hey, look who he looks like. Tavon Lyons looks like Oak, doesn't? Or not Oak, Dahl, doesn't he? Am I right about that? I think I am. All right, welcome, Tavon. Just made the cut, maxed out our salary cap. We have a kicker for the first time in a long time. So there is your long-winded draft. And we will begin against the Texas Stars. So there's your roster. That's a lot of fun. Probably our last season with Oak. So the epic season of Oaken Shield. I dubbed this. So we've got a big season to march through here. Season 16 of the RBA. His rookie season was the season that the Marching Ents won their Premier League championship. Can we bookend it with another one here in his likely final season? That would be quite a storybook ending. We tried and nearly succeeded for Tom Bombadil 2 seasons ago when we finished second. Let's see if we can do it for Oak. The epic season of Oak. We're going to keep on marching. You keep on marching. Until then, peace.